I have an exciting announcement to share with you today. The Miraculous Success Academy 2024 is open now for you to join. So if you are an entrepreneur who has been thinking about epic levels of success in your business, and you have had that niggle inside that's like, this is my year. This is the time I am going all in. This is the time I am really stepping up and rising. Then this is for you. I want you to join me in this incredible experience where you get to spend some time with me as your coach, mentor, guide, and you get to learn, expand, and grow with other amazing women who are all on a journey to make incredible impact in this world. So if that's you, make sure you go and have a look at the links in the bio and come and join us. What have you got to lose? 2024 really is going to be your year. Hope to see you in there. Welcome to the Soulful Badass podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Jackson, an intuitive success coach from the UK, and I'm here to help entrepreneurs, leaders, and soul-aligned goddesses to create epic levels of success and impact in your life and your business. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you are tuning in every week for mindset talk, manifestation, magic, and incredible interviews with other soul-aligned entrepreneurs. So hit the subscribe button, and I'd love to invite you to come and join the Soulful Badass community. All the links are in the show notes. Please go and click them, and I'll see you in there. Hi everyone. Today on the podcast, I am going to be talking about one of my favorite topics and something I am running a 7-day success challenge on, and it is success. Now, this is such a controversial topic, I find, when you start to talk about success. And people think, well, why? It's so obvious. People do want to be successful. But what does it actually mean to be successful? And this is where we have a lot of angst and a lot of worry and a lot of striving. And actually, we can knock ourselves out of alignment by trying to be successful. So before I dive into the 7-day success challenge, which I'm going to be hosting, I want to start to talk about, what does success actually mean? And are you working towards your version of success? Because let's be honest, often we are not. So what I've found over the years is I have always been ambitious. Now, when you asked me when I was younger, I would not have said I was ambitious, but I really am. I have that fighting spirit. I have that you're not going to knock me down energy. And I have a real drive of where I want to go in life. But that has been something that has actually been a way of holding myself back in a sense, because I've always been striving for that next thing. I've always been building and growing and wanting that next thing. So even when I've got to a point of success, it hasn't felt enough. There's still been a thirst. There's still been an energy to want more. So there's a difference between being successful and feeling fulfilled. And this is where we get muddled up. Often we feel like we want to be further than we are. And when we're driven individuals, when we're A-type people, when we have big dreams and big missions, you are never, ever going to get to the point where you are fully, yes, I am done. Let's just put my feet up and relax. Because you're always going to have that drive, and you're always going to want to grow and evolve and change and often be on to the next thing. So how do you quench that thirst as well as feeling good about yourself? Because let's be honest, success is often one of the things that we use to make us feel bad. We look at the amount of money we want to have in our life and we say, oh, well, we don't have that yet, so I'm not successful. You maybe look at the amount of qualifications you want and you don't have that yet, so you're not successful. We do this all the time, and we start to pull ourselves down based on the level of success we believe that we should have. So what I've been working on over the years is that Success to me is a feeling. Success is a feeling of accomplishment. It's a feeling of following my purpose and knowing I'm doing exactly what I'm meant to be doing. And that's not doing as in I'm striving. So let me just break this down for you a little bit. When I think about success, I have a real why of what I'm here to achieve. And I know that for me, I am here to help people grow, develop, and I'm also here to help people shine a light on how friggin' amazing they are so that they can go and impact and change the world. So that is my driver and that is my why. Now, I have a version of what I'm going to be like when I'm doing that at a very high impact scale and in the millionaire region that is already clear in my vision. But what I've got to be conscious of doing is not expecting that now and stopping my level of feeling good because in my mind, I'm not where I'm saying I'm meant to be. Because that is a metric, not a measure of how successful you feel. And remember, do not use external metrics for success. It is all about your inner feeling. So we use external metrics, and this is how we often get out of alignment when we're trying to be successful. So you will measure an income goal, you will measure an amount of clients that you have, you will measure the growth in your business this year versus last year. These are type of external measures that you will use to decide whether you have been successful in this past year or not. None of that tells you the impact you've made, the value you've given to others, the feeling that you had when you made those connections, the new relationships that you've built along the time, the feeling that you had when you tried something new and it worked for the first time. All of these are feelings that actually really help you be more successful. So once you stop measuring your success on digits and metrics, and actually look at it as a feeling, then what you can start to do is you can feel successful most of the time. And remember, whatever you are feeling is energetic vibrating out of you, and then you attract it back. So by doing this, you actually attract more success. So by feeling successful now, you attract a hell of a lot more success in your life than what you will do by measuring your income goal and saying you are not where you're meant to be. When we do that, we're constantly striving for that next thing because we're saying we're not where we're meant to be. We're not good enough yet. We get the imposter syndrome. So this is where success starts to trip ourselves up. So really, what does success feel like to you? You can start to think about the times where you have really felt successful, like you've accomplished, you felt good about yourself, you felt confident. What are these words that come up when you think of you being successful? And that's what you need to start to bring in now to your daily life, to start to think, I am successful now. But understand what success is, because the measure always changes. There's no point putting a goal on something. So there's no point putting an income measure on something to say that is when you are going to be successful. Because believe me, when you reach that income goal, it will have increased. So your mind will already have moved to the next measure. So you're actually setting yourself a target that is constantly going to change. And unless you feel successful when you reach it, you're not actually going to feel good about yourself because you'll have set the target higher. It's like you're swimming towards the ball if anybody's done this in a pool, somebody's threw like an inflatable ball into the pool and you've got to swim towards it. And every time you swim in, you're pushing more water towards it. So it's just rippling out and rippling out and rippling out. That is exactly what we do with our success metrics and measures. They just get further out and out because we're driving and striving for more. And that's okay. We want to do that. We want to keep growing, but why not feel good when you're doing it? Why not feel amazing? So first off, really think about how are you measuring your success and what does it feel like to you? What does success feel like? And why are you not letting yourself feel successful now? Because there will be parts of you doing exactly what you want to do, whether your business is starting out, whether it's 6 months in, whether it's 3 years in, whatever it is, you will be doing a version of what you want to do on a bigger scale. You will be doing a version of what you want to do when you're making more money. So if you are going to wait until you've made more money to feel successful, then you are going to spend all of this time not enjoying what you're doing or feeling not good enough or telling yourself you're not doing enough. Whereas actually you can say, I'm impacting people daily. I'm affecting my clients' lives. I'm helping the world in some way. That is all successful measures. So start to think about, what are you doing now and how successful are you? Because the more you focus on that, the more it grows and it grows and it grows. So actually, this is how you attracted more success. So really start to think about that. But also, the big thing is whose success measure are you working towards? We have been brought up in societies where our parents have certain ideas of what success is. Our school has certain ideas of what success is. Our employers have ideas of what success is. You might have went into a business arena where there's lots of people who have got more so-called success than you, and you're looking around and comparing yourself. And remember, comparison is the thief of joy. So really think about, whose measure of success are you working towards? And you might find that it's your parents' measure, or it's your grandparents' measure, or it's a school teacher's measure that you haven't seen for 30 years. Whose measure are you actually working towards? Because if it's not your own and you're not super clear on what success means to you and feels to you, then actually, how are you ever going to reach it? I have so many conversations with entrepreneurs about they don't feel educated enough. And my first question is, why do you not feel educated enough? Where is that coming from? Where is that drive for you to have qualifications versus experience versus ability to help people? Where is that coming from? And I know for myself, I grew up in a family where my dad had a real idea that going to university was a better route to getting further in life, because he had quite a tech background and he was very clever, but he went down the tech route and he felt that if he'd have went to university, he would have had a better chance at better jobs. So that was driven into me at a young age. And when I got to the point where I could go to uni, I decided that I didn't want to. Me being the black sheep and all, I always wanted to do things my way. And actually, at that point, I wasn't clear on what I wanted to do, so I chose not to do it. But that also gave me years of thinking, well, am I going to be on the back foot? And when I started my coaching business and when I started business in general, I did start off getting courses, qualifications, doing all the things and feeling like I could not be successful until I got those qualifications. And it was only when I realized I was trying to still fulfill my dad's idea of what success was versus what my idea of what success was. So once you realize that you are working to somebody else's success measures, you can actually ask yourself, are they relevant for you? And if they're not, then they need thrown out of the window, because you should only be working to what makes you happy, what makes you feel fulfilled, what makes you feel confident. So really start to look at, what measures are you working towards? Now, the big thing for me now in my business is I work on helping people daily in all aspects of life. So I genuinely think that everything I do has an impact on others and has an impact on other people's lives to the point where it's changing and progressing people further. So now that's allowed me to bring that into all aspects of my life. It brings it into the business, it brings it into the podcast, it brings it into a work environment, a corporate environment, whatever environment I'm in, that is my focus and that is my drive. And I start to see results of me being really successful at that. Now, there can be times where I start to go, oh, but, I'd love to be earning more money, or I'd love to be on a bigger scale, or I'd love to be on more of a wider world stage. And at them points, I start to go, oh, well, am I doing enough? Am I doing what I'm meant to be doing? And you can start to feel that energy shift where you suddenly start to feel bad about yourself, even though you're doing all of these amazing things in life. You start to feel bad about yourself because you've went back and slipped back to it should be more. So I really do focus on this energy of I'm changing lives every day. And that is my driver. And what I tend to see is when I'm getting acknowledgement of that, so when I'm getting people commenting on my posts, when I'm hearing messages that people have said, that I'm really bringing that into my energy. So that I go, see, I'm changing lives every day. You've got to keep proving to your mind what you're doing so that you can actually reinforce this as a belief. Because we have been trained to be successful through outside measures. That has been well established within our society. So if you are one of the lucky people who doesn't feel the obligation to do that, then good luck to you. But most people are trained to have a result that means success. And what tends to happen is when you're starting in business or you're growing your business, things work at a different timeline. Sometimes you're going to have masses of success. Other times you're going to have bits where you're not going to have as much flow and things are going to feel a little bit stagnant because business has ebbs and flows. And that's okay. But if you're not okay with the impact that you're having, and if you're not okay with, measuring success in a different way, then you're going to be constantly measuring it on a static measurement. And actually, if your business is having ebbs and flows, you're going to feel that dip. So it really is about how can you bring in the feeling of success? How can you start measuring the feeling of success? And how can you start actually acknowledging when you see it? And it's not about being a big head and it's not about, showing off or anything like that, but it's about really honoring that you are already successful now. You've already done so much that's successful. You have such a positive impact in this world. Are you measuring it? Are you tracking it? Are you saying, well done, look, I've just made a difference to that person's life? If not, start today. This is going to change the way that you look at success completely. And if you really want to dive into this more, I am going to be changing the way that you look at success, the energy around it, and actually how you create more of it in this 7-day success challenge. So please make sure you sign up and come and join the Telegram group for that. But if this has inspired you to start changing the way you look at your own success, then I hope you start to do it and it makes the impact that I wanted. So have the best week, but really start to think, are you measuring success outside of you or in how you feel? Because once you measure it in how you feel, there will be no stopping you. You are going to be so successful and you're going to enjoy the journey on the way. So I hope you enjoyed this episode and please come and join the Success Challenge. I cannot wait to see you in there. Have the best week and I'll catch you soon. Hey.